Okay, goodness. Let's break down this Node and Express code. At a high level, this script is a complete blueprint for a REST API that manages a product inventory. Think of it like creating a digital waiter for a restaurant. The front end places the order, and this server processes it in the kitchen. So let's walk through how it's built. The setup. First, the script sets up the foundation. It imports Express and initializes the app on port 3000. It uses a crucial piece of middleware, Express.json. This acts like a language translator, automatically converting incoming data into JavaScript objects we can easily work with. And right below that, you will see a product array. This is a temporary database since it's saved in the server's memory. It gives us two initial items to play with. But keep in mind, if the server restarts, any changes we make will reset. Let's move on to our CRUD operations. Look at the create operations, the app.post. So the app.post route handles create. When a user submits a new product, the code carefully validates the data. If the name is missing, if the name is missing or the price isn't a valid number, it stops executing immediately and throws a 400 batch request error. If everything looks good, it looks at the last item's ID, increments it by 1 to ensure it's unique and pushes the new item into our array. So for our read item, the app.get route is our read operation, and when someone hits the endpoint, the server simply fires back a 200 OK status and dumps the entire list of products. Then we have our update operation. The app.put route updates a product. It searches the array for a matching ID, and if it finds it, uses ternary operators to check the incoming data. If the user provided a name or price, it updates them. If they left a field blank, it safely falls back to the original data, so nothing gets accidentally wipes out. Consider here. The app.delete route handles removal. It finds the index of the product, uses JavaScript.splice method to physically cut it out of the array, and returns a successful message along with a copy of deleted items. Finally, at the bottom, app.listens fires up the entire system. It tells the server to start actively listening for traffic on port 3000 and logs a message to the console letting us know whether the server is successfully running. And that is the entire code base wrapped up. It's a clean standard implementation of a CRUD operation. So let's test out this server using Thunder client. So before then, first we have to fire up our server. We use the terminal to initialize the server.js. Our server has already restarted. So under the Thunder client extension, I already did some operations, but let's quickly look at our get. So let's see what we have in our array. When we send a get request, it fires and responds with a status 200 OK, and currently we have two objects in our array. So each contain an ID, a name, and a price. So our get request works successfully. Let's try to which our get is a read request. Let's try to create. So I will try to let's edit this. Let's say a code, USB code, and it sells for just 19. Let's try to send that. So it was sent successfully. 201 created. So let's go back to our read and see. You see, it's added here. It means it was successfully sent. Let's try to add something else. So let's say a school bag. A school bag for our laptop. Let's make it 70. So let's send that. It was successful. Let's read it. So you see here, it's successfully added our school bag. So let's try to update. Let's try to perform an update operation. So come here, let's look for an ID we're trying to. So let's update this USB code with. So come here, put what we have to do is what the ID we are trying to change. We just change that number here since we are trying to update. And then basically it just let's let's change it so anything. Let's say a Nike slide and let's make it 790. Send. So it was successful. Let's read it and see if it updated successfully. See, it was USB code, and now it's a Nike slide. So let's try to delete something. Let's add something else. Let's make a duplicate school bag and duplicating a school bag. Let me make this 512. So let's send. Let's go and get and see. So we have two school bags here. So let's try to delete one. Let's delete the what we just added with the ID number 5. So let's go to our delete. All we just have to do is come here and input the ID number we're trying to delete and send. Successful. School bag deleted successfully. And let's try to get. You see, it has been deleted. It's no longer in the array. So let's try to do a failed request. So basically, let me try to delete something that's not here. Let's change it to 6. So error, product was not found because we don't have any product with the ID number 6. So thank you. That's all.